What's up, everybody? We are back with another live edition of the Ad Podcast, broadcasting from the Cannes Creativity Festival in France on the Riviera. We have Pius Hornstein, the head of brand and compliance on global GPUs at Sanofi. Pius, thanks so much for joining and spending a little bit of time with us today.
Pleasure, Dylan, to meet you.
So tell me a little bit about yourself and your role within Sanofi.
You listen, I'm actually a scientist, but my passion for patients and for pharmaceuticals came when I started working in my first marketing job.
Okay.
And in my last job before I joined digital at Sanofi, I was the head of the business for China. And there it was the first time I really had contact with this being customer centric, being close to the consumers and the patients. And we introduced as a pharma company the first global rollout of everything on WeChat in China as a healthcare company. Okay. So that was my entry point into the digital field, and that's why I'm here in Cannes.
I love it. So what are some of the things that you're exploring here at Cannes? I know you have a panel tomorrow. What are going to be some of the key things that you want audiences to take away from your talk tomorrow?
So listen, first I think it's good to understand for the audience, we are Sanofi, we are R&D driven by a pharma company. So we're really focused on improving patients' lives through medicines. And we want to do that by focusing and empowering everything we do with AI. So everything in the crossroad between research, customer centricity, powered by AI is our focus. And we submitted actually in Cannes one of our programs or companions we have designed with our partner from the ad agencies, a patient companion who helps patients to come on therapy with atopic dermatitis to be accompanied during their journey. So it helps them to interact with the physicians, with the healthcare professionals, to get tutorials, information about how they have to take a drug, what the problems they have. Also ask on how they can be helped, specifically in the US, in their healthcare journey links to HMOs, get the co-pay right.
So figuring out the insurance side, not just the drug side and the treatment side, but also the navigating the complexity of whatever medical system they're on.
Absolutely important, because most of the patients who actually get a drug prescribed in the US, only 50 to 55% actually end up on taking it, because the journey is so difficult. So here exchanging on how we increase patient focus, how we increase customer centricity, and help them to reduce the frictions on the journey is key. And tomorrow I'm going to speak about with the panel about media planning. For us, it's really how can we do precision marketing, both to healthcare professionals, but also to patients. So that's a bit the angle we want to give.
So a little bit of B2B2C. So you're evangelizing to the medical community and caregivers, but also to patients.
Absolutely. Obviously, very different routes with different objectives. But for healthcare professionals, if you think about our field-based medical people, they want to be sure they go to the right physician and they know which problems or information they seek, and not lose time in navigating through the ecosystem where we are based. So we provide them real-time insights on to whom they can go, what their pain point is, what kind of content they're interested in, and we do that both in field, so physically, but also through the digital channels. So
what are some of the channels or what are some of the complexities or challenges in media planning to find the right customer when you're dealing with HEPA compliancy and personal data? How do you plan for the channels to find the patients, and how is AI increasing the precision of that process?
Compliance is at the heart of everything we do in pharma, because we do not promote drugs directly to patients. So we need to be, respect patient privacy. So what we do, for example, for patients in pre-diabetes, we help them to get the right information. For example, if they are having questions about pre-diabetes on the web, we are able to direct them directly through our geofencing to the right physicians who actually know about diabetes. And they will help them to, for example, with the right questions, AI will prompt them on the right questions to see what is the family history automatically. And then they will be able to get the right testing, if needed, at the right physician. It's a very lengthy journey. So we are trying to connect the questions they might have on the web to direct them to the right physician who can help them right away, and not to start a journey with, I go to this doctor, this doctor, this doctor, and I'm not able to get the diagnosis that I might have to have.
So we talked a little bit off camera of the problem that a lot of patients go through, which is misdiagnosis. Sometimes it takes years to find out what's actually wrong with them or the problems that they might be experiencing through the healthcare system or through going to doctors that can't diagnose them. How would you say AI is increasing the speed of patients getting to outcomes faster?
The potential is big. We just worked with a startup here in Europe, which we developed an application which is called Accelerare. It's to help diagnosing patients faster with rare disease. Rare disease are patients who have a disease which is 1 in a million.
Wow.
So physicians have always difficulties to actually find the right symptoms. Mm-hmm. So with them, we developed an algorithm which can make, with the right questions, a journey which can last up to 10 years can be done in 10 minutes. Mm. So it helps to trigger and then again direct the patients to the right physicians. So by accessing that application through the web or through the application, the physician will be powered with the knowledge which he or she might not have at his fingertips normally. Wow. So it's really shortened the time to diagnosis quite dramatically.
So that's interesting. So I think most Americans have had the experience of going onto a website like WebMD, for example, and you start Googling, because you're having some type of a problem, and then you go down a rabbit hole and, you are exposed to all sorts of potential situations that you might be facing. And some of them can be quite scary. I remember I went to the Dominican Republic and ended up having a parasite, but, a few hours on WebMD, I was, thinking that I had pancreatic cancer or something like that. But it sounds like the applications that you guys are building are based on questions and answers to kind of not just do one Google search and then have 1,000 outcomes to look at, but really taking people down steps and layers of questioning that then helps them get to the right diagnosis faster. Can you give some examples of how that works?
No, absolutely. I think you have to do that in a very professional and ethical way. Mm-hmm. For example, for Accelerare, the whole questionnaire, the whole questions which will lead to the right indications has been validated by the medical association. Mm-hmm. So exactly, you need to have that in an ecosystem where you are sure that the accuracy and the relevance of what you provide is correct. Mm-hmm. So this we have down and validated now in France. We're going to go and launch it across Europe with the different markets and with the different medical societies in the different countries, because we want to make sure that they also embark on it and the application and the capabilities really adopted by the HCPs. So it's really hand-in-hand work by technology, but also inside knowledge from the physicians. That to connect these two is absolutely fundamental.
Yeah, that's interesting. One big trend that a lot of brands are experiencing right now is a decrease in volume from organic search. People for a long time, Google was the homepage. It's the first place they went to do any kind of search-based, intent-based research. Now, maybe 50% of people are going to AI, going to ChatGPT first. How are you guys thinking about optimizing for AI-based search queries versus traditional Google-based search queries, or the way that people are looking for information?
Externally, we have not yet directly witnessed that trend, but it's something we need to get ready.
Yeah.
So I think that's the next big thing, to say how we move away from the web-based classical searches to make sure that in the right AI algorithms, our solutions are still relevant. Mm-hmm. And what we do is we try to focus now first on our employees. So we have our own AI support tool for our employees, snackable AI at the fingertips of our employees, which we call Concierge, which connects all the company data and allows employees to be empowered with that knowledge and take faster decisions. Mm. That's something we just launched this year, and we already had 90% penetration. We have 70,000 people using that every day. So,
and is that like a conversational AI tool?
Absolutely,
yep.
But with the data from the company inside the data. So we're trying to learn with that, but we know obviously also for patients, for healthcare physicians outside the company, this is happening too. It was a bit early for us to embrace that first internally, but obviously we need to go also to external to do that.
So healthcare is always one of the last verticals in the marketing and advertising space to embrace new technologies, specifically because of compliance issues. What are some of the major compliance considerations that you have to take in mind when building new marketing campaigns and thinking about how to reach customers, but doing it in a way that respects privacy and compliance?
So first of all, everything we do with AI has to be done responsible, accountable, and safe. That's why everything we do with AI, Gen AI across, not only in advertising or in customer-facing exchanges, is based on our RAISE principle at Sanofi. That's very important. Strong governance is important because you always need to make sure that the human is on the top and you're able to control what's going out. So this is a big effort. So we test everything before. We need to make sure that it's foolproof. So if we want to give recommendations or guidelines, they need to be in a way that they're 100% within the ethical, legal, and regular guidelines of each of the markets. And we do that because we're setting the guardrails when we build the AI tools internally. So for example, if we build promotional material for physicians, they have to go through a medical legal review process, and having that automized and increase productivity through an AI flow is absolutely fundamental. In some of the markets, we already have an automated approval up to 85% of the whole flow.
Wow.
But you will always see humans, experts, making sure that what the AI did is in line with the ethical guidelines and regulations. We are not at the stage where we can hand it off
Trust
completely.
it off completely.
No, not completely. It's really a learning journey.
Humans in the last mile.
Absolutely. Always on the top.
Very
That's
cool. If partners want to reach out to you to co-collaborate, if anybody wants to learn more, where's the best place they can find out more information or connect with you directly?
Best is go on my LinkedIn or connect via LinkedIn. No problem. We'll be super pleased to do that.
Beautiful. Well, thanks. Appreciate you coming on.
Pleasure. Thank you so much, Dale.
Cheers.